But speaking of patching, just want to touch on this real quick because it was suggested that we talk a little bit about patching NBA Live 08 and other older games. This is something that I've obviously slowed down on. You've released a couple of updates for NBA Live 06 in the last couple of years. So the Dwayne Wade and the Damian Lillard. Did you do Damian Lillard title screen as well?
Yeah,
The
I
Live
did
15
because
one?
he was the cover boy for
15.
Yep.
Yep. So we still do release stuff from time to time. I do have a few things in the works at the moment. You might have seen me posting releasing a few of them in the last couple of weeks. Had a week where I released a patch, did a video, and 2 columns and a podcast. So I'd like to think that I'm a pretty hardworking guy in our community. Just to toot my own horn again. But I still do release it. But the thing is about patching old games, it is fun to go back and patch them, as you probably would agree with,
Yeah.
because it's familiar and we got some great tools for live, and editing live on PC is a little bit easier than 2K, which is one of the reasons I haven't got into 2K modding that much. But of course, you've got the smaller audience. And so if you're doing current rosters or big projects like that, there's a couple I'm working on, like with the Ultimate Jordan roster. And I've released a couple of beta versions of that, sort of working on it when I can and putting out the demo versions, the demo releases. But you got to realize you are working with a smaller audience, which is fine. I mean, there are still people modding Commander Keen out there, which is cool, and they've made some really great unofficial continuations of the story. You know, I don't want to rip on that because they've been doing some fantastic work in that modding community. But you know, you obviously have these niche, and we're already a niche of a niche as PC basketball gamers.
Yeah.
And of course, we do cover consoles as well these days. But when you talk about PC basketball gaming, that's a niche of a niche interest. And when you're talking about the ones that have been out for 10 years or so, it's a niche of a niche of a niche. So, you know, it's another step up of a small...
It's almost technically hipster niche.
It's, it's hipster level, in hipster inception levels of of nicheness in the in video gaming. But, you know, it's great to see people still doing some fantastic work. You know, shout out to S. Brat, who, despite his... his username is actually one of the nicest guys in the forum. You know, not a brat at all, doing fantastic work with faces. And I just saw he's been experimenting with jersey updates and everything with NBA Live 08. Great work, and Freddie doing some great portraits. You know, shout out to all the people still editing those old games, doing some great work, because it is fun to bring the games up to date. But
the last 2 title screens that I did was for Live 08 actually.
Live 08, that's right. What did you do for Live 06? Was that the dunk contest gear? The gear
and I did do updates of the again the title screens and that.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, you released the 08 ones, yeah. So we're still active in that part of modding every so often, you know, and dip our toes back in there. And as I said, I'm working on some logo updates at the moment. And I've done some player face to coach face conversions. I actually had to change the hairstyle. Who's actually changed the hairstyle for? Tyronn Lue. I actually managed to do almost some proper cyberface editing. Actually getting Lue's player face and taking it and putting it on a coach face that had the right short hairstyle instead of the cornrows that he had as a player.
Oh, yep.
So I felt very proud of myself that I got that. So again, it's something that I do enjoy, still dipping my toe in the water every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, we do move on. We still post any file editions we get for NBA Live 08 and earlier. You know, if you want to do an NBA Live 95 patch and upload it to the download section, I'll post it on the main page. I'll post a bulletin. I say this because I made a patch for NBA Live 95 last year as part of our 20th anniversary of live content. More content is coming, by the way. But you kind of do have to move on and do the content that really drives the traffic to the site. As far as what I'm doing, which is why I do the podcast and the news and the other video content and such that I like doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely give it a go once in a while, and certainly encourage anyone, you know, whether it's whatever game you want to mod, if you're passionate about that and you have this, you know, do some creative stuff and share that with the community, by all means do it. You know, just realize whether you're making it for a smaller audience, obviously. And if you are in that audience expecting patches for old games, do remember that a lot of people have moved on. You know, we had a great modding community for like Live 2003 through 2008, through 08. But sort of as every game gets older, people do move on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have moved on to 2K PC, so or a console version. So I mean, do keep that in mind, and be patient when you ask for patches for the older game and the newer games too, but certainly with the older games because there's not as many people working on them, and people have moved on. But yeah, and it's great. It's great to see, and yeah, as you said, I'm sure you agree. A lot of fun to go back every so often and do that.
Actually, just looking at the Live 08 one that I did for Wade, I know it's really clean. I just like the look of it.
It's fun, isn't it, when you make a really good patch? It sounds egotistical, I'm sure, but when you just it comes together. Like, I'm sort of seeing that with the Ultimate Jordan roster. You're just like, yeah, that's I made that. That's cool. But yeah, I did like the design you did with the Wade for the 08.
And
the gear, because nobody had really done that.
No, yeah, I was the first. As soon as I saw that stuff, because I was the first one to actually do that gear for both the urban and the dunk contest stuff, and was the first to do the scores, like scorecards and all that stuff for the dunk contest. So people were like, "Holy crap!" When I just remember people's reaction to it was awesome. It was like, yes, I found a niche thing that no one had thought of doing. So yeah, that was. It was
instead of the 20th Kobe Bryant cyberface up there.
Yeah.
Something different.
Exactly. So I mean, I knew my jerseys were good anyway, but this was something new and obviously that no one had thought about doing, and considering how low resolution a lot of the content for that stuff for those modes were. I mean, it could even do like, because a lot of faces were like Iverson and I think Starbury and Francis and all that. A couple of those faces, they could have been redone with some of the actual community mod ones and all that stuff instead of these tiny little. I think they were like 64 by 64 pixels, faces. So it was just like really low quality.
Yeah, it's pretty much just to have some people on the sideline that vaguely resembled real people, I guess. But no, it's great to do creative stuff like that. Certainly encourage it from the community, and yeah, we'll probably dip our toe in the water again every once in a while, because it is fun to go back to those old games and see what you can do.
I might actually do a Westbrook one.
Of course, Live 16. So look out for our future releases, of course. They might come here and there. And again, no matter what game you're uploading, by all means, feel free to do it. Feel free to make use of our upload facilities naturally, so that we don't lose these great updates. Upload them to the download section. We're not going anywhere anytime soon, so keep using those upload facilities so that we don't lose those patches.